Are you one of the 60% of people who would choose a new career if given the opportunity for a career do-over? Or are you one of the 80% who will be looking for a new job this year? Hi, I'm Carol Henninger, founder of Need a Job Now Tips, a webpage dedicated to researching and bringing you up-to-the-minute information on the internet, and creator of this training series on career changes. In this 3-part free training series, I'm going to show you the top 12 career mistakes that keep you from succeeding in your career. And this 15-minute video will show easy solutions, things you can do today to get your career back on track. Throughout this whole process, we learned some new game-changing tactics, and we've discovered even more mistakes that people like you are making every day. Which is why we've decided to develop a new program, and we took a page from Dave Letterman by creating this video series on career mistakes that could be costing you money, and we're presenting it to you as the top 12 career mistakes. So let's start with number 12. Failure to create a plan and stick with it. Harvey McKay, a best-selling author, said, quote, "If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail." So what does that mean, and how does that apply to you? Well, I understand that we all have busy lives, but if you want to succeed in changing careers or changing jobs, you need to treat this process like a job. In other words, what would it take for you to devote the time and energy to finding a new career? Most often people do not change because their pain is not great enough to force a change. And Tony Robbins refers to this as the why. People have to have a great enough why to make a change. So what is your why? Career mistake number 11. Settling for more of the same. We're used to a very comfortable salary or a very comfortable lifestyle. And oftentimes it's difficult to walk away from a comfortable lifestyle or a really good salary. But when was the last time you said yes to a new opportunity? When was the last time you volunteered for someone or something you believed in? You see, you can go ahead and volunteer, you can get a part-time job, you can get an internship, and still keep your comfortable salary job that maybe isn't so great. This will give you an opportunity to see if this field is a field you want to go into, or if this job or career is something you want to pursue further. Career mistake number 10. Failure to create your personal brand. We covered how to create a personal brand in one of our videos, and we'll refer you to the link at the end of this video. But to recap in brief, what are your strengths? And remember, strengths are not what you're good at. Strengths are what empower you. If you look about any of the videos that Marcus Buckingham has done, he said strengths are not activities that you're good at. So in other words, what he's saying is, you might be a good swimmer, but maybe you hate to swim. So we're asking you to discover your strengths and also make a list of your skills. So how do you do that? Well, one thing that Buckingham recommends is that you carry around with you a notebook, a little notebook that you could put in your pocket. And every time you do an activity that empowers you, that makes you feel confident in where time flies by, to jot it down. Jot down the activity, the time of day, what you were doing and who you were doing it with. And at the end of the week you can go back and you can figure out what activities do you enjoy doing? What activities give you the confidence that empower you? Because you need this information so you can guesstimate your value to a potential employer. So strengths plus skills equals value. Career mistake number 9. Failure to find evidence to support your claims. It's not enough for you to say, hey, I'm really good at X. So instead, look for yearly reviews or comments on yearly reviews, written comments from customers or clients or students. Gather data, facts, and figures, and present this material in a way that shows that you have achieved great things, and here's the evidence to prove it. Quantify everything you do. So how much time or money did you save your employer? If you can't come up with an exact idea or exact amount, estimate that you saved the company 10 hours of work. How much does an employee who would do this same job make? If it's $20 an hour, you figure $20 an hour times 10 hours, that's just in 1 week. That's $200 in 1 week. But if you multiply it by 52 weeks in a year, that's more than $10,000 that you've saved this company by coming up with an easier way for them to do X. So here's another example. Rather than saying on your resume, I met my quarterly sales quota, say instead, I sold $52,000 of product XYZ in quarter 1 and quarter 2 of this year. Which one would you be more impressed to hear? But if you can't think of something, and I'm not suggesting that you lie, do not do that, ask former bosses or former clients for a testimonial. Or volunteer for a worthy cause and ask for a statement, a positive statement about your participation or what you contributed from the event organizer. Career mistake number 8, failure to research potential employers. A good salesperson never approaches a potential client without doing your homework. What we're suggesting is that you do the same. Never approach a potential employer without doing your homework. You see, successful salespeople know that an objection is one step away from a sale. And how do they do that? Well, they sit before they approach a potential client, they say, what are the client's objections? Or what could possibly be the client's objections to my product or service? And then successful salespeople brainstorm potential objections ahead of time and develop responses in advance. So we're asking you to do the same thing. Who would you like to work for? What are the potential employers? Do your homework. Are they come out with a new product? Or are they still in a different technological age? What is it that makes them stand out? And what can your strengths and skills, how can that contribute? What value can you add to potential employers? Why would a potential employer want to hire you over the next person? And let me give you an example. A few months ago, CBS ran this new show called The Job. In one of the episodes, 3 editors from Cosmopolitan magazine were interviewing potential candidates, and there was about 5 or 6 on stage. And it was for an editorial assistant job. And the editors went down the line and asked different questions of the various candidates. But they came across this one candidate and asked a specific question about a prior magazine, about an issue of Cosmopolitan that ran a few months ago. And the candidate said, I don't know. I've never read your magazine. Well, this stopped me in my tracks. It really made me think this was an unbelievable response. Because even if the candidate didn't know specifically what the questions were going to be asked, she should have known that Cosmopolitan was one of the employers doing the interviewing. And she should have taken the time to look, even if she didn't, she just looked at a back issue or looked at several issues to see what the style is or what the tone is. So that was a lesson that I learned, and I passed that along. Career mistake number 7, failure to create a vision. Have you ever been frustrated with a lack of direction, lack of clarity, or lack of focus? In their book, Full Steam Ahead, authors Ken Blanchard and Jesse Stoner describe 3 elements that are necessary before you can write a compelling vision. 1, you need destination, or that's the outcome of your vision. Number 2, purpose. And number 3 is value. So they go on to explain that if purpose is the why, vision is the how. In other words, focus on the outcome, not the process to reach the outcome. For example, there's been extensive research on athletes who have been very successful, who have won awards or broken records, or even won like Olympic gold medals. And the research on the athletes came to the conclusion that the athletes who first visualized their achieving their goals, or who visualized winning a gold medal, or who visualized breaking a world record, often met their goal because they visualized it first. They visualized how their body would feel and what they would be doing and how, if they'd be sweating or how fast their heart would be beating. They visualized all of this ahead of time over and over and over again. So when the time for them to do the activity, their mind could not differentiate between a dream or a visualization and the actual doing of the activity. So what is your vision for the future? Below this video, you'll see a link for our handout, the 4-step plan to find your dream job. And in it are steps that you complete of all the activities that we talked about in this video. So go ahead and download the handout below. And also, please leave a comment below. And in our next video, we're going to talk about career mistakes 1 through 6 and what you need to be doing today that can get you different results tomorrow. So see you in the next video.